This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Kingston Western Police named 9 persons of interest. The Kingston Western Police have listed 9 individuals as persons of interest. The police believe the men can help them in the ongoing investigations in the division. They are urged to report to the Denhamtown Criminal Investigation Branch by 6 p.m. on Thursday, February 10. They are Tariq Chambers, otherwise called Bootman, Raheem Foster, otherwise called Stretchy or Squaddy, Jerome Noble, otherwise called Little Willie, Shamar Ralford, otherwise called Baby, men known only as Bigger, Will Smith, Toady, Poopa, and Jomo. Anyone knowing their whereabouts is asked to call the Denhamtown Police at 876-922-6441, 119 Police Emergency Number, Crime Stop at 311 or the nearest police station. Police probing another suspected suicide in St. Elizabeth. The St. Elizabeth police are investigating another suspected case of suicide involving a 38-year-old man at his home in Littis, a community on the St. Elizabeth-Manchester border on Monday. He has been identified as Mark Francis. Reports from the Junction Police are that about 7:30 a.m., Francis was found hanging from a tree in his yard. The police were alerted and the scene was processed. The body was removed to the morgue. The incident follows last Wednesday's suspected case of suicide involving B.B. Koch High School construction teacher Garfield Dennis. Dennis was found hanging from the ceiling of his woodwork shop in Malvern, St. Elizabeth. Man who rescued JPS contractor distraught over his death. Kemar Campbell, the young man who rescued the electrocuted Jamaica public service contractor worker, says he is distraught about his death. The contractor Ainsley Scott was injured while working on power lines in the Trenchtown area of Kingston last Wednesday. He died at the Kingston Public Hospital on Monday. Speaking with the news, Campbell shared that he was looking forward to Scott recovering. "Me feel really bad, cause me really did want to see him again for talk," Campbell said. "Me did want to hear what take place on the way and make all of that happen. That are the most way me did really want," he added. Scott, who was employed to M&O Traders, was in the community. Attempting to resolve a lack of electricity in the area. Power has since been restored to the community. "Before the night came down, light come," Campbell said, noting that another JPS service vehicle was sent to resolve the issue. JPS said it will be working alongside M&O Traders to investigate the circumstances surrounding Scott's death. Killers mapped out party venue before slaying promoters. The criminals who shot dead 2 people and wounded 6 others at an illegal party in Spring Gardens, Westmoreland Sunday night had conducted a reconnaissance of the venue hours before a survivor of the bloody attack told the news. According to the survivor, the gunmen had surveyed the venue early in the evening and left. They returned later, ordered a cigarette and a magnum, after which they turned their guns on Sharissa Murray, hitting her in the upper body, before taking a bag with cash garnered from the illegal event. They then shot her spouse, 31-year-old Marshall Gale, took a bag of cash from his body as well, while patrons, some of whom were also shot, ran out of their slippers and sandals. On Monday, the Westmoreland police said that while the killers had taken the bags with money, several leads, including lottery scamming, are being examined as the motive for the murder of the couple, which was committed about 8:45 p.m. "We are not concluding at this point that the robbery is the motive. What we are saying is that there are several avenues that we are pursuing in terms of investigations, to include some connection to illicit lottery scamming," a police source told the news. Member of Parliament for Westmoreland Western, Morland Wilson, who visited the family of the deceased on Monday, is asking residents to share whatever they know with the police. Wilson said Spring Gardens is a quiet, peaceful community that is currently in transition from farming, including the growing of sugarcane, to the hosting of entertainment events. "A lot of persons may have ventured into entertainment as a means of survival. What I gathered had happened is that these individuals, Gail and Murray, were having an event as an income-generating activity, stated Wilson. He reiterated his call for the implementation of state of public emergency in the parish, adding that while the current zone of special operation that was implemented in Savannah Lamar South is working, some criminals may have migrated from that area. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has declared the Zozo for the areas of Russia, Darling Street and Dexter Street on January 16 in response to increasing acts of violence that have earned Westmoreland the dubious distinction of being one of the police divisions with the highest murder figures last year. What is happening here is not good because if you notice, they have controlled the crime situation in Savannah Lamar, but now it is Westmoreland and White House that have it. So it is a situation that I think the police need to get a hold of, stated Wilson. He argued that several rural communities are seen as softer targets by criminals who believe that there are not many security guards in these areas to assist with protection. Meanwhile, a police officer in the parish who asked not to be named as he was not cleared to speak with the press is pleading with the promoters of illegal entertainment events and the patrons to desist from engaging in extreme measures to elude the police. We just want the unruly behavior to cease and for persons to understand that they are jeopardizing themselves. There is a high demand for the service of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, especially in Westmoreland, and we cannot be stretched trying to stop persons from having these illegal events, the cops said, adding that apart from the breaking of COVID-19 rules, people are endangering themselves when the police are not aware of such activities. To prove his point, he said that last Friday, the police had to be moving from one area to another to warn people attending illegal parties. Men charged after body dumped on highway. 2 men who were held after a body was dumped on the Edward-Seoga Highway in St. Catherine last month have been charged. They are O'Keefe Anthony Brooks, otherwise called the Ball or Askel, a 33-year-old higgler from Inwood Village, and the Shaquem Tattoo Richards, 21, a tattoo artist from Featherbed Lane, Spanish Town, both in St. Catherine. The 2 are charged with murder, illegal possession of firearm, and illegal possession of ammunition. They will appear in the St. Catherine Parish Court on February 17, 2022. Brooks and Richards are charged in connection with the death of Carlton Alexander Duarte, aka Ricky, 36, a pig farmer from Denby, Clarendon, but who also resided in Inwood Village. Reports were that about 10:15 p.m. on January 21, 2022, Jamaica Defense Force personnel were alerted by a motorist that a man was thrown from a vehicle on the highway. Acting on that information, the JDF officers intercepted a silver Nissan motor car with 2 men on board. A search of the car led to the seizure of a firearm. Blood was seen in a section of the vehicle. The men were subsequently detained for questioning. Further checks by the JDF officers led to the discovery of Duarte's body along the roadway. Teacher accused of killing parents to get psychiatric help. Police are making arrangements for a school teacher accused of killing his parents in Christian Meadows, St. Catherine last Friday to get psychiatric help. The 25-year-old man allegedly stabbed his father, Cecil Ramsey, a pastor, and mother Phyllis, a school principal, to death. He is their youngest offspring. Commanding officer for the St. Catherine South Police Division, Senior Superintendent Christopher Phillips, told the news that the accused seems in dire need of help. We are making arrangements to take him to the psychiatric ward, SSP Phillips said. We think he will be able to get the kind of expert attention that is needed now, so we are making that arrangement today. The superintendent said he was not an expert, but came to this conclusion after visiting and observing the accused on Monday. His condition seems to be getting worse, from getting boisterous at times to being totally zoned out and in one position for hours staring into space, he shared. Reports are that about 4 a.m., residents found a motor vehicle belonging to one of the Ramseys abandoned on the side of the road. Bloodstains were reportedly found in the motor car. The police were summoned and they reportedly went to the house of the couple where their bodies were found with several stab wounds. PNP urges Jamaicans in Ukraine to be prepared. The opposition People's National Party is urging all Jamaicans in Ukraine, including students, to register with the embassy in Germany to receive important and timely information on travel protocols and assistance. This follows what the PNP said are reports of concern expressed by some students in the country, given the rising geopolitical tensions in that region. The opposition said it is aware that concerted efforts are underway by Jamaica's highly competent and dedicated Foreign Service representatives to ensure the protection of citizens in Ukraine and its surroundings. It said it will continue to monitor the situation and stand ready to provide support if called upon. Reports are that Russia has assembled about 70% of the military capability needed for a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in the coming weeks. The buildup of an estimated 100,000 Russian troops near Ukraine has fueled Western worries of a possible offensive. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan warned Sunday that Russia could invade Ukraine any day, triggering a conflict that would come at an enormous human cost. Russia has denied any plans to attack its neighbors, but demands that the U.S. and its allies bar Ukraine and other former Soviet nations from joining NATO, halt weapons deployments there, and roll back NATO forces from Eastern Europe. Washington and NATO reject those demands. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.